All right. How surprised are you by this, Dave?
I'm shocked, honestly. I mean, I know there's a lot of rumblings, and I know John has a certain style that eventually runs its course, but I would have suspected that he may have gotten another full camp and another start anyway. So I'm shocked, and I guess in that business you're hired to get fired, and I guess John Tortorella's on to the next site, I suppose.
Yeah, how you're closer to it than a lot of people. How would you categorize the Tortorella say the relationship?
Well, there's certainly two different styles, Mike, and I do know that Glenn has more of an awareness of the people side of the business, and I do know that Glenn's style, he hires his coach, lets him be who he needs to be until he thinks that it's not working, and really not being intimately involved between the two of them. But I do know they're distinctly different styles. And from this standpoint, Glenn has the ability to make the decision to hire and fire his coach, and he did. So I don't think it takes too depth of observation to see the difference in the men. They're different ages, they're different capacities of how they interpret things, and different positions. And the result is Glenn has the right to do that.
Couple of things here that you would know. When we're talking with Dave Maloney, if you're just joining us, Tortorella out. Say the press conference or conference call. We're not sure which one yet. At 2:15. So he will meet with the media 2:15. Tortorella out. Two things. Will this be popular with the players? I guess the question is, Dave, was he popular with the players?
Well, it's a little bit, picking over the carcass here. I had always thought, Mike, that there was a loyalty there. And I had been impressed that there was, given most of us, what we see of John, or what we had seen of John, was that 10 or 15 or 20-second soundbite that kind of give you pause to wonder of how in the world does he manage this club. And yet there seemed to be a loyalty there. Now, again, I know there were exit interviews 2 days ago. My suspicions are they didn't go well for the coach. And perhaps that factored into the decision. I don't know that verbatim, but I just think that you have to wonder over time whether John's message and the method to his madness didn't wear thin. And I guess now we interpret Lundqvist's. I'm not, and I don't know what the relationship between Lundqvist and the coach was. But there certainly wasn't an overly optimistic tone to Henrik's comments coming out of the player exit. So until you're in the room, you really don't know. It's easy to surmise, but it'd be hard not to think that there wasn't some rumbling there.
Talking with Dave Maloney. Dave, here's the question that everyone brought up, and you know and I don't. And again, I think it's always a little bit, and I know you're a classy guy, it always is a little bit of kicking a guy when he's out the door. That happens, okay? Now you'll hear things about this and that, and that goes on everywhere. But here's the real question that I think was bridged, and I don't know if it's fair or unfair. Did he hold back the offensive talent on this team? Did he, with his style or his overbearing nature, which he clearly has. I mean, that's just what kind of coach he is. And that's not good or bad. I mean, he's won. He's got a way of doing things. But did he hold back the offense or thwart the offensive abilities of the talent he was presented with?
Well, you know what, Mike? He was ready to admit that he didn't bother coaching the offensive side of anybody's game. And I think the thing is, though, innately when his system was so demanding on play in their own end of the ice, in one's own end of the ice, you can't help but think that a guy who's more inclined to go up ice may lose a little bit of an angle or an edge to who he is. And I guess when you add up the personnel, or you take a look at the different personnel who's come through, I mean, a year ago, Mike, and again, I would agree with you, it's easy to pick on somebody.
Sure.
A year ago, we were talking about a guy who really built a culture and built a class and blocking shots and defending and all that stuff was a new identity. It was a lunch pail identity to this franchise. Now, the question is, can you win that way? Can you expect Rick Nash or Marion Gabrick or those types of the world to be innately blocking shots, to defend? I'm not sure. So I think ultimately there's got to be some sort of happy medium where, and was John able to portray that or get that across to the 22 guys that were suiting up? I don't know, but there certainly is a case to be made that the club did struggle offensively under John Tortorella.